and welcome to the Diana Falzone Show on Paltalk every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm so glad you've joined me for what I think will be a really fun discussion about dating today. I brought in a very special guest. She's my secret weapon. Hi. Allison Rosen. Allison Rosen is a notable TV personality. You see her pretty much all over Fox News, but primarily Red Eye with Greg Gutfeld. Her and I both appear on that show in the quote-unquote legs chair, which is really fun.
Oh, sometimes I sit in the non-legs chair.
Oh, really?
The bust chair.
Is that what they call it?
No, I just named it that.
And she's also a writer, a freelance writer for Page Six Magazine and Maxim. Yes. And you can check your blog out.
Yes, I do have a blog. It is AllisonMRosen.blogspot.com. I've been making plans to just get AllisonRosen.com, but that hasn't happened yet.
Well,
so no one go out there and buy it.
Exactly. So you guys
pay off my domain, please.
Exactly. If your name is Allison Rosen, she already made claim to it first.
Yeah.
So make sure to check that out while we're talking to learn more about Allison. And for me, I am a radio personality on Sirius Satellite Radio. If you ever find yourself bored, alone, or a truck driver, go to Sirius.com where you can listen to DeVore and Diana 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. EST. Well, I just want to get right into it, but before we talk about our topic du jour, I do want to make sure that those of you who don't have microphones don't feel left out, because I like to hear from you, even if it's not necessarily your sexy, seductive voices, which I really do love, Allison. They have some amazing voices. It's international. But I wanted to have you guys type in, because I can read all your IMs, and my wonderful call screener, Alan, will let me know what's going on and what you guys have to say, and we'll shout you out. And if you do have a microphone, even better, raise those Paltalk hands, and we will talk to you ASAP.
And if you don't, you could just type in a sexy, seductive font.
Ooh! See, that's why she's a writer. She's got it all going on.
I know my fonts.
Now, Allison and I have hung out outside of a workplace.
Yes.
And, you know, we've been silly, crazy girls, but we've definitely had discussions on dating and I guess the pros and cons of meeting new people and how difficult it is. And I recently had a lunch with a girlfriend of mine who, it was just her birthday. She's been single for the past 2 years. And she's had a really hard time meeting people. And she said, I don't get it. You know, she's like, I feel like I'm putting out a vibe to be dateable. And I said, should I give the tough love here? Or do I just nod and say, wow, yeah, it's really tough?
Yeah, that alone is always a hard thing to figure out what to do, especially if you know in your head, you're like, it's this, and this, and you can actually put your finger on it, and then it's sort of, you have to weigh the pros and cons of whether you're going to push your friend away with that.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually decided to go the tough love route, which is not my usual way. And I looked at her and I said, Leah, you're a beautiful girl, but to be quite honest, I'm intimidated by you. There's definitely something about this girl that she's very strong, she's independent, she's successful for such a young age, and she's, you know, kind of no frills, no fun. Mm-hmm. And she said, well, you get hit on all the time and people talk to you. I said, I am a moron. I'm like, I will always be like, hey, I'm here, what's up? You know, and that makes people feel like they can come up and say, oh, how are you, what's going on, or they can laugh with me, as opposed to somebody who's like...
Does she come across as judgmental? Is that what it is?
It's judgmental. It's you know, it's insecurity really, but it's a closed off way of being. Mm-hmm. It's like, you know, when you talk to someone, they're crossing their arms and they're averting their eyes, you're feeling like, is it me? What am I doing? Am I making them uncomfortable? And I think these are cues that we could really talk about with how do you make yourself quote-unquote dateable.
Right.
What are those little things you do to open yourself up to the world that says, hey, I'm ready to meet someone?
And I think you're right that it does come down to insecurity and confidence issues often, because I can say, as someone who probably too often does have the closed-off body language, when I'm doing this, it's not because I don't want people to talk to me, it's because I am sort of feeling insecure about myself, or I'm trying to hide something, you know, and so it's sort of, for the person who's trying to put out those signals but who's having trouble, it's almost doubly difficult because they have to fight their own, like, feelings of self-consciousness.
Absolutely. And I think there are some little things that you can do that are really key to having a successful dating life and being able to meet people. So I gave my friend an ultimatum. We were at dinner or lunch, and I said to her, listen, do you want help or don't you want help? And she was like,
yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to be out there.
She's like, yes, I want help. She said to me, she's like, you know what, at this point, yeah, I'll take whatever I can get. What do you want to help me with? I said, we're going to go to the park next weekend. We're going to bring my white fluffy dog, Bailey. He gets guys to come up. She's like, that little white rat gets, I'm like, stop with the insults. I'm like, that's my dog. I love that dog. But she said, okay, so we take the dog, and then what happens? And I said, and we see people look at you. And I can point out that people pay attention.